in a city you have this problem of underemployment. Okay, so but they are standing over there because they don't have any other, no choice for them. Instead of, they have to stand, then only they will get work. If no one calls them that day, they are not going to get work. Okay, so how to create employment so that everyone gets employment? There has to be done something so that no one remains unemployed. Because if someone remains unemployed, what is happening? Our GDP will come down. Okay. If more and more people are employed, they will produce more and more goods or services. Something will be produced. Right? If more people are employed, and that if more goods are produced or more services are produced, what will happen? Our GDP will go up. There will be economic development. Okay. So from the above discussion, we can see that there continues to be considerable underemployment in agriculture as well as in other sectors. Okay. Now, take the case of Lakshmi with Lakshmi has 2 hectare plot which is unirrigated. Now, if the government spends money or if Lakshmi gets a bank loan and she digs up a well in a farm, what will happen? She will be able to irrigate her farm. Now she doesn't have to depend on the rains. So instead of having one crop, she can have 2 crops, the rabi as well as the kharif crop. Now what will it lead to in the same land? If she has 2 crops, what will happen? She can produce more grains, more wheat, whatever she is producing. If she is producing wheat, she can produce more wheat. Now if she produces more wheat, she can use that wheat, some for herself, and she can sell the rest of it. Got it? Because if more is produced, she can save for her family and rest she can sell to the nearing town or city. Okay. So, what will now her people, the people in her family are working, they are producing more, and to sell this product again, she needs someone to carry these goods to the cities, so need a transporter. So you are employing someone else, then you are again selling, you need a marketplace to sell this, or you need a storage to store goods for a longer time. If some agricultural produce like potatoes, onions are kept in a storage, what will happen? They can be kept in storage, and when the price increases, the farmer can sell it. Right? So, all this needs employment. You need a transporter, more employment. To commerce, trade, you need employment. Storage, you need employment. So, more and more employment will be generated. Okay? So you can generate income. This is the way, one of the way where we can generate income. Okay. Now, along with water, Lakshmi also needs fertilizers. Lakshmi also needs seeds. Okay. Lakshmi also needs agriculture equipment. She needs pump sets to draw water. Okay. Now, being a poor farmer, she cannot have all these facilities. So she needs money, and if she takes money from a money lender at a high interest rate, then it will be difficult for her to pay back. But if a local bank gives her credit at a reasonable rate of interest, then what will happen? She will be able to buy all this, and she will be able to cultivate land. This means, along with water, we also need to provide cheap agricultural credit to the farmers to improve their farming. Okay. So if their farming improves, products will be more, and again the same thing, more products. So you can sell it, so you can get more money. At the same time, you are creating employment opportunities for many other people of the other sectors. Okay. Another way of tackling this problem of employment is to promote and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas where a large number of people can be employed. For instance, suppose I will let you know, many farmers decide to grow arhar or tur, setting up a dal mill to procure and process this and sell in the cities is one such example. So you need to employ people to work in the mill. Okay, so it will be creating employment to the people in the villages. Opening a cold storage facility should give an opportunity for farmers to store their products like potatoes, onions and sell them when the price increases. Okay, in villages near the forest areas, we can start honey collection centers, right, where farmers can come and sell wild honey. It is also possible to set up industries that process vegetables and fruits. Agree? Okay. So, which can be sold outside in the market. This will provide employment in industries located in the semi-rural areas. Okay, so the people in the rural areas, they need not go to urban areas for work. If there are certain industries related to agriculture in semi-rural areas, people will stay in those areas and they will get employment. Okay. In India, about 60% of the population belongs to the age group of 5 to 29 years. That's why India is called as the young country. Okay. Now, but of this 5 to 29 years, out of this, only 52% are attending educational institutions. Rest 48% don't go to schools or colleges. That means either they are staying at home or they are working as child laborers. These young people, young children, they are working as child laborers. If these children, 48% of children were to go to schools, then you need to have more school buildings. Then you need to have more teachers, you need to have more other staff. This would have created more jobs, more employment. So according to the Planning Commission or what is called the Niti Aayog now, if more schools which are needed, schools, if the 48% of the children they go to school, government will need more schools and this will create more employment. For how many people? 20 lakh more people. Okay. Similar is the case with the health sector. If you go in the villages, you don't have health services. If in each village, if there is a primary health center, what will happen? You will be needing more buildings for a hospital. Then you will be needing more doctors. You will be needing more nurses. You will be needing more health workers. And this will create again jobs, employments to the people. Okay. So, this will again increase the jobs that may go to another 20-25 lakhs. Okay. So, every state or region has the potential for increasing the income and employment for the people in that area. Every region has its potential, every region. Some region is a tourist place. So if tourism increases, okay, or certain regions are famous for their craft, so regional craft increases, okay, the industry of the handmade, the handicraft industry, if it is developed, or new services like idea developed, what will happen? More jobs will be created. The same study of the Planning Commission showed that in India, if tourism as a sector is improved, then every year it can give additional employment to more than 35 lakh people every year. Only one industry, the tourism industry, can generate 35 lakh jobs every year in India. So, these are the different suggestions made by the Planning Commission or the Niti Aayog. But it is going to take time for this all these things to realize. Okay, but the government has to take certain measures which should be very quick. Okay, so recognizing this, fast measures. Okay, so to recognizing this, the central government in India made a law. Okay, implementing the right to work in about 625 districts in India. Okay, the central government made a law, right to work in 625 districts in India. This law is called the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. Okay, that means right to work means into this act the MGN Rega. Okay, MGN Rega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act means it guarantees job. From the name what it suggests, it guarantees job to, now whom does it guarantee job? According to MGN Rega, all those who are able to work and who need work, okay, who are in need of work. So all those people who want to work, who are able to work, they are in need of work, okay, in the rural areas are guaranteed 100 days of employment in a year by the government. The government says that all those who are able to work, they should be fit to work. Huh? Not suppose one is not fit for work. If he is ailing, he can't go to work. No? If he is sick, he can't go to work. So one is able to work and who really needs the work, who is in need of work, government is ready to guarantee him 100 days of employment. And if the government fails to give him employment for 100 days, then the government has to pay him unemployment allowance. Remember this, the act says that if the government fails to give such a person who wants to work and is able to work in rural areas, government has to guarantee him 100 days of work and has to pay him. If the government fails, the government has to give him unemployment allowance. Okay. So this type of work that will in future help to increase the production from land will be given preference under the Act. Okay. So with this, I end the lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to study the divisions of the sectors. Okay. Now we saw the main three groups of sector: the primary, secondary, and the tertiary sector. Now in the next lecture, we are going to study how this sector, the economic activity, are further divided into another way, that is the organized sector and unorganized sector. What is organized sector, what is unorganized sector, that will come to in the second chapter. Okay, thank you.